Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Osu Mapcast. I'm your host Cinnabun, and in this episode I'm here with hypercyte. How's it going, man?
I'm good. Uh, yeah.
And tell us a bit about yourself.
So yeah, I'm hypercyte, and obviously that should clear up the confusion in how it's pronounced, since a lot of people say hyperkite for some reason,
Or hypocrite.
which is alright. But yeah, um, I'm an OC beatmap nominator. I've been a nominator for since I think April 2018, and I've been mapping since 2017 as well.
Oh, nice. Well, I guess we'll get started here. And how did you first get into Osu, like find out about it?
It's a bit of a mixed one. Like once I just found one of my favorite anime openings, and it was called Pride Kakame. It's from Gintama, which is also my favorite anime.
Oh, nice.
And I just found it on awesome, like searching on YouTube and stuff like that, because I think it was a pretty popular map back in that time. And back then I didn't really think much of it because I didn't really want to play the game. I didn't really understand much about it. But my friend one time in school just kind of mentioned Osu, and I was like, I think I'll just give it a shot. It kind of just started from there, to be honest.
And just been playing ever since?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. And are there any things you do outside of Osu?
Outside of OC, I'm a student and take computer science. As you can see, I got a lot of coursework I've been doing the past few weeks.
That's
And,
impressive.
yeah, and other than that, I play, like, other games I play would be like Stardew Valley with the boys.
Hey.
And maybe, I don't know, anything else? Like most other things I do, just not as dedicated as I am to like OC.
That makes sense. Stardew Valley is a great game.
Yeah. And I watch a lot of anime too.
Right. And how did you get started into like mapping? Like I'm sure you've been playing for a little bit and like, hey.
Yeah, mapping was just started off as like an idea because, like everyone looked at PC Fat videos back and
Right.
like there was one time where I was kind of really inspired by one thing he said, and it was something about, I don't know exactly how to explain it in words, but it was just something about keeping a circle in the center of a screen in relation to the video of a map. Something really small like that. And I thought,
Right.
hey, I can do something like that for another song I have. And it was for, Haikyuu, the anime?
Yeah.
It was for like one of the openings for that. And I thought I'd just try doing something, like try making a masterpiece out of the box. And obviously it wasn't a masterpiece. But
Right.
to me, it felt like a masterpiece. It was a terrible map. But it just started off by just making that one random map.
Get
Yeah,
that?
I should mention how the reason why I started, like, how do I explain that? Basically,
mapping?
it was a time when I couldn't play because the computer was too bad at school.
Oh, right.
So
You just mapped.
everything kind of just came together, and I thought, hey, let me try this.
Right. Hey, if I can't play, I might as well just map.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was just like a one-off map, but that's where it all started.
Did you ever remap the haiku map?
No, but I'm planning to.
Hey.
I've got the files, and I just need to do it someday. Someone already like ranked one recently. It's called Fly High.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen it. But yeah,
Some of my
no.
closer friends have seen the actual map because it's not uploaded or anything.
Right. And how long have you like been mapping before like going for BN and all that? Like why did you want to go for BN?
Yeah, going for BN is a funny story. Because I only applied for BN because I wanted to see what kind of feedback I needed to improve my mods. And so basically I only had like 3 or 4 months of experience of active modding. But then somehow I kind of got in, and I was like, okay. So it was a bit awkward, but it happened. And so that was back in April of 2018. So as you'd expect, I was pretty bad. So I
Right.
did get a few disqualifications and stuff like that. That were pretty bad, like spread issues, things like that. What people would get rejected for nowadays. But And so yeah, after getting extended once, I ended up getting kicked after like for the on June, I forget the month, but basically I had a one extension and then it didn't work out, so I kind of just went on a shonen training arc and then came back stronger.
It's your redemption arc. Right.
I even had a Taiko arc. Like I just went and had a Taiko mentorship with Nepudi.
Oh, do you enjoy playing Taiko?
No, I just kind of
No?
felt like mapping's kind of doing something different for once.
That's fair.
Yeah, I ranked one Taiko map and that's pretty much all I did in Taiko.
Hey, I mean, hey, that's still cool.
Yeah. It was a nice experience. Like little takes your take my mind off like standard for a while.
No, of course.
But yeah, I rejoined the nomination group in October 2018 and I've just been there since.
Oh, what when you failed, what was going through your mind, like, or what did you do different the second time when you reapplied and you got in?
Well, when it came to the second time, I wasn't like I had a 6 month cooldown before I could reapply. So I thought that I wouldn't be allowed to reapply yet, but I just did it anyway, just to see what would happen if I did, and they just let me back in. So that I wasn't exactly prepared, but it happened. It worked because I did have some mods under my belt, but I didn't think I was ready yet. But I thought if I'm gonna get another shot, I'll go for it. And during my time as a BN, I improved a lot. So that's kind of how it went.
Right. And did you like always wanna become a BN when you started mapping, or just like, hey?
Well, when I started mapping, I didn't know how to even rank them up. But like, yeah, just over time, I kind of figured out what you're meant to do to rank a map, and then I thought it would just be cool to be able to have that power to rank maps of other people's maps. And it's kind of like that kind of like desire to rank maps, really, other than my own.
Yeah, I understand. Do you enjoy mapping or modding more?
Probably like an equal mix of both, to be honest. Because sometimes I feel like I just want to map and just want to take my mind off modding for a while, and sometimes it's just the other way around.
Right.
So it's just a mix, to be honest.
I get that. And you've been in the BNG for a while, so what do you like? What do you like the most about it?
I don't know if this is a kind of valid answer, but the BN server is a great place to be. Honestly.
Lots of cool people?
Yeah, like a lot of the BNs are great. I don't exactly dislike anyone, so like get along with everyone. There's also a sentient bot that seems to just know everything.
That's wholesome.
Yeah.
And on the opposite, what do you enjoy the least about being in the BNG and all that?
Definitely like overworking yourself. Like once you do a lot and you kind of just get tired of doing the same thing, so you just want to take a break. So I tend to just kind of keep my like workload at just a normal amount. Just trying not to go over the top, but not too less either.
Yeah, you don't want to get burned out, right?
Yeah. Another worst thing would be like how everyone makes mistakes. Sometimes you might spend a lot of time checking a map, but then something just kind of slides through. Happens rarely for me, but like if it does happen, it's not always the nicest thing.
I mean, hey, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And who inspires you to keep in mapping and all that? Like
right now it's more like my main drive when it comes to mapping is just making a map that I find fun to play. So like, although like mapping is mainly for the players, as weird as it might sound, I kind of like playing my own maps a lot. Like, so if I find my map fun to play, I see that as a successful map, rather than if everyone else finds it fun to play. So that's kind of like my drive, to just kind of be able to play my own maps I find fun, catered to myself.
It makes something you're proud of.
Yeah.
It's very understandable.
So, yeah. And there's obviously a lot of people who actually enjoy that same kind of taste that I have in like how a map plays. Back in my earlier days though, my main inspiration would be like people like Peachy Fat again, and a lot of other people who have a lot of ranked maps. They kind of like can make me want to be kind of like them, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
So now that I'm kind of in that kind of position, I'm more like self-motivating myself, if that makes sense.
Right. And like, what are some like the goals you've accomplished, like that you've set out for yourself and you've done already?
There's quite a few of them. I think I had them listed on my profile. One of them, like one of the things would be like having a lot of ranked maps. I've got like over 30 now, which is like which would have been crazy for me just like in 2018, for example. Like I wouldn't have imagined that I would have had even 10 ranked maps. So like 30 is like kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Another one would be like making it onto the beat map spotlights. I've had 2 maps on the beat map spotlight so far.
Oh.
And one of them was the Nano B Hyperdrive map, and the other one was Stand By Me, which to me which feels like one of my best maps that I've ever made, and it's just so fun to play. But it's kind of hard to recreate that kind of style because it's so specific to that song.
Right.
But
that's really cool.
Still a really fun map to play for me.
Yeah, it is fun. I've played it once or twice.
Yeah.
And do you have any goals now?
Some of my goals now would be like maybe winning first place on a mapping contest, because the best thing I've done, I haven't like participated in that many contests I've done so far. Like the best one I've done so far is Pending Cup, where I've come 5th place, which is cool, but I was kind of upset it wasn't 4th place.
I mean, yeah.
And another goal would be like maybe joining the NAT someday. I'm just trying to improve like when it comes to evaluating people like in BN management in general.
That's cool. Have you done any work like with the NAT and stuff like that?
Yeah, BNs right now have a thing where they can give comments on new applicants. So we kind of just evaluate them, but I'm not sure if it actually counts towards people's applications. It's more kind of like just giving your own evaluation, but I don't think it'll affect it that much.
Oh, okay.
So it's mainly just for the NAT to see how
well received they
can
are.
Evaluate people, really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hope I'm not wrong about that.
Hey, well, hopefully you do get that someday.
Hopefully.
And for people who are like newer mappers or wanting to like get started into that, do you have any advice for them?
For newer mappers, it's kind of same thing that I would say to one of my friends who I'm kind of mentoring, if you want to call it that, is to, like, if you want to improve in mapping, the best thing to do is just look at other people's maps. Like, obviously not copying one for one, but kind of trying to understand how and why people did something. That's kind of where my most improvement in mapping comes from. Like, even after I'd ranked a few maps, I kind of just felt really dissatisfied with my maps at a certain point. So, because it just kind of so I'd probably go look at other maps that I really like. For example, like maps I find really fun to play, trying to see why I find it fun to play, and kind of implementing that in my own maps.
Right, it's just a constant striving of getting better.
Yeah.
And for people who want to like get a mod offer you, like approach you, like say hypercyte, look at my map please. How do people do that?
The way I usually take requests would be to, like, on my Discord server, I have like a channel where I just add everyone that wants to be notified when I'm open, and I just have a form, a Google form, and people just fill that in. I tend to get like quite a few of the requests, but I always pick ones that I'm interested in, so the amount of requests won't matter. It's like everyone can just request a map, and if I'm interested in it, I'll pick it. If I'm not, then I won't pick it.
What kind of like song styles or maps that you are you interested in?
Again, like the most priority goes to kind of maps that I find fun to play. So I usually give a test play to maps and see if it's something that I find really fun. If it's a map that I find fun, I pretty much always accept it, unless the song is like something that I really dislike, probably like metal or something.
Okay.
So yeah, and and obviously it's not always like that. I can always also choose maps like that I just find, like for example, a really nice song. Obviously, the map has to be of at least decent quality,
No, of
but
course, yeah.
if it's a really song I really like, then I might tend to push a kind of map like that as well. But altogether, like I tend to like feel discouraged from nominating like PP abusing maps, things like that. I tend to avoid if anyone is watching. But I haven't
Right.
actually put that down on my thing because I don't know why. I just don't feel comfortable putting it down. But just songs that just have straight up 1-2 jumps everywhere. It's not like my kind of thing.
I feel that. And are there like any bands or like kind of like music that you're really into that like gonna push a map over the edge?
Yeah, if it's by Burnout Syndromes.
Hey,
But yeah, other than, like, I have uh, like I don't really mind most kinds of music. Just stuff like heavy screamers, stuff like that. They're not my kind of thing.
you don't like Imperial
Heavy
Circus?
metal, yeah, nah. I
Nah,
don't like those kind of things.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, like those really like streamy maps as well. Not my kind of thing.
What about Galnerius?
Depends really.
All right. And I don't know, for someone who doesn't know, because I know I don't know, but I've seen it quite a bit. What is the significance of the number 4?
Okay, that's a bit of a another funny story.
Go for it.
It's honestly one of those just random retarded things that kind of came out of nowhere, and it just stuck through like for a while.
Right, for a while.
I could probably send you a screenshot later, but on Pishi's Patreon server, Green Hugh asked, "Would you like me to deliver you a pizza or something like that? What's your address?" And I said my address is 4. That's it. Just said 4.
Okay.
And that kind of just spiraled down, and now suddenly today just 4. Everything was just 4. It just ended up becoming my favorite number.
Yeah, I see it everywhere. So like, you really leaned into it.
Yeah, it's just a random thing, but I just like it.
Hey, well,
But
it's a
that's where it
shame.
all started.
That's cool. It's a shame we didn't get you for episode 4.
That's a real shame.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta come on
Hey.
again for 44.
It's Sato got it. It's like he's
Yeah.
basically my best friend and my best friend, so good enough.
Yeah, that's really
I'll
cool.
allow it.
But I guess coming near to the close here, are there any like things you want to shout out or people say like, hey, what's up?
Shout out. I mean, definitely Sato.
Right.
You got
Hey.
Ice Lewin. You got my guy Black and Jay Plays. No one will know them, but like they're my basically IRL friends.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
Probably there's a lot more people, but like obviously can't just remember everyone off the top of my head.
right. And where can people find you? Like, what's your Twitter and all that?
Everything's basically hypercyte for me. No one really steals that name, so I can use it for everything.
Hey, there you go. Well, thank you for joining me for this just random podcast episode. But I appreciate it, and thank you for listening and taking the time. As always, all feedback and like anything in the comments or anything you want to see or any guests you want on, please let me know. I'd really appreciate that. And I do have one final question for you, Hyper. And will you nominate my map?
I see. It's a bit of a tricky one.
Right. Hey, if you want to look at it, I'll send it. All right. But yeah, thank you again, and thank you for listening. I do have a little small announcement. Since it is episode 5, we are doing a 1-month supporter tag giveaway. So if you listen to the full thing and you're here now, thank you. And if you want to put it in your Twitter in the comments or your also username, I'll pick one out next week, and we'll get you a supporter tag. Thanks again for Hyper here, and I'll put all links to him in the description. Go check him out, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.